Have you ever wanted to travel back in time to the early days of transit? Well, in New York City you can, for just the cost of a subway ride. On Saturdays in December, the New York Transit Museum operates the Holiday Nostalgia Train, a set of Depression-era subway cars, as a special service on the city subway, and any transit passengers are welcome to board. When my girlfriend Kalkidan told me about this, I knew we had to travel to New York and check it out. I had just spent the previous night on the floor of the Orlando airport, but I ignored my body's cries for sleep as we drove to Connecticut and jumped on Metro North to Grand Central, where we caught a downtown 6 train. The Holiday Nostalgia Train would be traveling from 2nd Avenue to 145th Street, using lines built by the former Independent Subway System, or IND, the third of New York's major subway companies, and the first to be city-owned. When we got to 2nd Avenue Station, the 90-year-old subway cars were already lined up on the platform, but since we'd made an off-screen detour for some delicious Yiddish and Greek food, platform and train were already packed with enthusiastic riders. We managed to squeeze to the second car, which featured incandescent lighting, blade-exposed fans, open windows, woven wicker seats, and period-accurate advertising that would never be allowed today. Soon the doors shut, and we were in motion. Alright, here we go! It toots! Right away, I knew that we were in for an immersive experience. The noise on board was deafening, far louder than a typical trip on the modern subway. Air whipped through the open windows and doors, and the train rocked and jostled so much that I had to cling hard onto a pole or handle just to avoid falling on my girlfriend. Don't get on this, too short for the straps.
Why are you embarrassing me? Why are you embarrassing me?
We made stops in a few subway stations, all of which were packed with excited New Yorkers and transit enthusiasts.
That's the nostalgia part, I guess.
While there wasn't a PA system in our car, a few passengers would imitate conductors calling out stops, and the train would blow its whistle every time we left, to the amusement and delight of riders.
I will never get tired of that.
After a few stops and starts, I realized the train's Depression-era motors worked differently than those of a typical subway train, jumping jerkily from one fixed speed to the next, rather than a smooth acceleration.
Y'all taking videos? I want to be on YouTube.
You want to be on YouTube? I'm making a YouTube video right now.
What up? You don't care. I'm on the holiday train. It's popping.
After 59th Street, we ran express for 66 blocks, allowing the cars to hit their full speeds. Words don't begin to describe how fun it was to blast through the subway on these aging cars, rocketing past station after station.
So, first impressions of the Holiday Nostalgia Train.
I mean, like, it's really cool to go back in time, even though I wasn't born during that time. And I have contributed to the classical community, okay? I'm the one who gave Caleb the idea. I just sent it to him on Instagram, and he was like, maybe we should do it. And I was like, yes. So, thank you very much.
At 145th Street Station, we walked around the cars, which were decorated for different eras in which they served. These cars were built for the IND, meaning they were running on the same tracks they used in service, and they're known as Arnies, as their models are labeled R1 through R9, with R short for rolling stock. Built between 1930 and 1940, they ran up until 1977, when the last was retired. Today, some operational cars are owned by the New York Transit Museum, while others are owned by the Railway Preservation Corporation. All of them go through the same inspection process as regular subway cars, allowing them to operate on the active system. I feel like a lot of American heritage rail operations have the same problem. They can't replicate the experience of riding full speed on a main line, confined instead to slow short lines or heritage streetcar operations. That's what makes the Holiday Nostalgia Train truly unique. It's on the same rails in 2023 as it was in 1933, operating at the same high speeds with similar levels of crowds. It's a look into transit's past that's hard to get anywhere else, and it also helps you appreciate how transit has gotten better since the Great Depression, with things like noise reduction, suspension, smooth acceleration, climate control, automatic stop announcements, and wheelchair accessibility now commonplace. I'm very grateful to the New York Transit Museum and the MTA for giving us a glimpse into this chapter of transit history. Coming out of the subway, Kalkadan and I headed to a PATH train to write a chapter of our own, because any woman who sends me information about a heritage subway operation, agrees to a spontaneous trip to New York City, has a blast, and makes sure we get Greek food, is a keeper.
Okay, now Kalkadan, you're an old hand at New York. You've been to all of the iconic cultural landmarks, right?
No, I've only been to the Bronx. I went to Nordstrom Rack.
That is truly an icon of New York City.
Yes. You know, I got a $500 dress for $120, so that was yeah. And I only wore it once, unfortunately.
Whoa. So she's holding on to me, and I was supposed to hold on to the pole, but instead I'm holding on to the camera.
Guys, content creation is hard, okay?
So this is the Oculus. It is the giant, expensive transit center for the World Trade Center.
It looks like you're here on a bet.